Hey everyone, Hero 13 here, back with another video. Sorry if you heard that little gulp noise. Taking a soda, taking a sip of drink before I made a video. So in this video, I'm doing a video I've wanted to do ever since I first heard we were getting a new Fantastic Four. This video is going to be Fantastic Four versus Fantastic Four versus Fantastic Four. The two Fox versions against the MCU version. Well, the two Fox versions against themselves, and adding in the new MCU version. All right. So let's get down to it. There's two things I'm using to determine the winner of this one, because this is going to be rather difficult if I do say so myself. The number of people, no. The who has the better teamwork and who wins the individual fights. So let me say you got some time in case you want to, go ahead and get out of here. You got something to do. I believe the MCU version will win. Okay? I believe MCU takes this. If you would like to know why, well, here we go. In terms of teamwork, I would more so put them all at the same level, on the same ballpark. I think they are roughly equal when it comes to teamwork. Fan4Stick, they all show great teamwork during battle, but in 2005 Fantastic Four, Jessica Alba's Fantastic Four, and 2015 Fantastic Four, Miles Teller's Fantastic Four, those teams got off to a rocky start, relationship, so to speak. So, but whereas 2025 really seems to be, they were solid, throughout. So, but I will take this, right? I'll give them all. I'll give 2005, Chris Evans, Jessica Alba, Fantastic Four, and 2025. I'll give them a 10, but I'm going to give Miles Teller's, 2015. I'm going to give them a 9 in teamwork, because at the end of the day, we did see just a small hint of what was not discontent. Small tint of, I don't know the word. Basically, at the end of the movie of 2015, they were all kind of like not arguing, but they just tossing about who to be the leader and all that. So we'll give them a 9. We'll give them a 9. Okay. There seems to be just a little bit of uncollaboration there. That's not even a real word, I believe. Whatever. Okay. So they're roughly equal in teamwork. How do we decide who wins? Well, all of these characters roughly have the same, type of powers. They're going to notice that. So I believe each group, each member of the Fantastic Four, each Human Torch, each Mr. Fantastic, each Invisible Woman, each thing, I believe they are all going to splinter off into different fights, single fights, based on who they match up with their powers. So Invisible Woman versus Invisible Woman versus Invisible Woman, Human Torch versus Human Torch versus Human Torch. And this is where I say, this is why I say 2025 wins. Because when you compare all of them singularly, because honestly, comparing how they would fight in just a big group battle is entirely too difficult. Though I would give that victory, I would be tempted to give that to 2015 if it was a big group battle, because we saw Invisible Woman use her invisibility to actually cloak her partners. Now, and their attacks, like when Johnny threw fire attacks at Doctor Doom, Sue cloaked them. But that won't really help much against these others, unless she can take one of the Invisible Womans out by surprise. But so team battles are just too complicated. But when you, like I said, when you go individually, well, 2025 almost and possibly and almost unanimously wipes across the board. When you account for the power of the various Human Torches, the winner the strongest Human Torch is 2025. He was able to absorb fire, which is something I don't think the other two ever showed. He in his fire, what really gives him the edge is his fire abilities showed the potential to harm somebody like Galactus. He was, well, I don't know. I believe he harmed him or he either greatly annoyed him. This is impressive because Galactus can survive in magma because we know Silver Surfer can, and Galactus is several times stronger than Silver Surfer. So being able to, and I believe how he was burnt, but I mean, it was kind of inconsistent because he got burnt later on in the movie from the truck, but he didn't, whatever. But being able to like annoy and slash like stun Galactus, that's a level of firepower we have never seen either of the other Human Torches do. Let's bring up the Thing. Well, again, this is unanimously a win for the 2025 Fantastic Four. While both Michael Chiklis' Thing, 2005 Thing, he was kind of pathetic, if I do say so myself. Like, he didn't match up with, 2015 is stronger than him. But 2005, 2025 has just way more better feats. Lifting up cars, running through concrete pillars, being able to briefly stagger Galactus, though it should be noted that he used his strength, not his strength, he used his, he had like the effect, like he was thrown into space and Johnny flew him down, so he was kind of using like gravity and stuff to like help him, but still being able to get a hit on Galactus and briefly knock him back a bit, that's far greater than anything they've done. Also, the Thing kind of was strong enough to bomb rush he was strong enough to bomb rush Mr. Fantastic. The Silver Surfer. And we know the MCU Silver Surfer could survive being in a black hole. So, like, he was able to knock her against the wall. So, but it was a surprise attack, so that needs to be mentioned. So, in terms of strength, he's the best because he's the only one who really has quantifiable, like, not quantifiable, but he's the only one who really has actual feats. The others don't. Mr. Fantastic, I'm tempted to actually give this one to 2005. His stretching abilities seem to be the best, but honestly, this is just rubbery guys just punching one another. They're going to be fighting until one of the other members can come help them. That's kind of a tie. But we saw him stretch up and wrap around a Ferris wheel. I don't know. And we saw in the 2025 version, he was kind of getting stretched by Galactus, and Galactus was like, the insinuation was Galactus was going to rip him in half, but I don't know. Yeah, so that we'll kind of give that a tie. So now that leaves the battle of the Invisible Women. Jessica Alba versus Kate Mara versus whoever this new girl is. Sorry, I don't know her name. Initially, I was ready to give this battle to 2025 Invisible Woman. However, upon further evaluation, Kate Mara's 2015 Invisible Woman actually can probably be comparable to Invisible Woman. Heck, I would say she's better because Kate Mara can actually fly. She's the only one of the two Invisible Women who actually have flight capabilities. She has standard healing. She has standard healing and all that. Not healing, invisibility and all that. And you know what? Now that I think about it, I actually think Kate Mara's Invisible Woman is the stronger one because she's also the only one who genuinely showcased attack potential, like vast attack potential. As we saw when she was training with her power, her force field was able to knock away huge, massive containers, cargo ship containers. She was able to use kinetic bolts to stun Doom. Now, you might say, this is nothing, dude. Well, you got to remember two things. One, those containers are metal. Not only did she push them back a good bit, but she also damaged them. Like she dented them. Again, those are metal. She was also able to stun Doom, who had a metallic alloy shell bonded to his body and was bulletproof. And remember, she's fighting two other invisible women. They're not exactly super durable. So, yeah. Yeah. So again, and there's one more thing, right? You say, no, 2025 Invisible Woman was able to use her shields to stop Galactus. She couldn't harm him. And I know Jessica Alba showcased the ability to trap people with her force field when she trapped Reed, turned him around. And then when she also trapped, and she also told Victor that she could put a force field inside somebody's body and expand it. But heck, if she could put a force field in the body, one of the other Invisible Women can put a force field outside their body. 2025 also showed the ability to use like her powers in a telekinetic way. So, I mean, none of these girls are necessarily defenseless. But again, Jessica Alba loses here, obviously. So it's between Kate Mara and the new one. Actually, I'll take that back. This isn't a unanimous wipe across the board because Galactus wasn't really fazed by her shields. Heck, he was able to break out of one until she used her powers to, like she tapped into her mother instinct and, adrenaline and all that, and she pushed Galactus into a portal. And honestly, that was kind of BS, but whatever. But Kate Mara's shield, hers were able to survive the energy beam that was transmuting matter into pure energy. And in fact, Dr. Doom, the guy who was bulletproof, who had that special alloy, who was stronger than the Thing, he got knocked into that, and he was turned completely into energy. But her shields were able to withstand that. So I don't know. Her shields are pretty powerful. Now you can say her shields are energy, so that kind of discontinues it. But whatever. But even so, now that I think about it, because I'm trying to think here, I think I'm going to still go ahead and give the fight to the Fantastic Four. The 2025 Fantastic Four. Because even if Kate Mara's shields are better and she's more powerful, the fact that both Johnny of the MCU or Fantastic Four and the Thing will still be up, that kind of gives them the win. I don't know. Well, no, because I guess 2025's Fantastic Invisible Woman could take Kate Mara's by surprise and, use her telekinetic powers and take her out. But she never really showcased that type of power. I mean, she did showcase an attack power. She was able to use her power to blast open she was able to blast a TV screen when they were talking about getting rid of her baby. So, okay. So she's got a bit of attack potency herself, but still, Kate Mara's can fly, and that's kind of the big thing here. So, yeah, I don't see. So, and after what I said earlier in the video, when I talked about Human Torch taking away people's fire, we saw that Chris Evans' Human Torch in Deadpool and Wolverine, he was actually susceptible to that. So it's not like it's not impossible for him. So, okay, those four. Yeah, I'm gonna give it to 2025 because even if Kate Mara's Invisible Woman could beat Sue, could beat what's her name? I don't know. 2025's Invisible Woman. I would say 2025's Mr. Fantastic is actually smarter than the other ones because he invented teleportation. Well, actually, no. So did Miles Tellers. Never mind. He has a transporter too. He's not the, but that's transportation to a different dimension. Is that really the same thing? Honestly, I would say transportation to a different dimension was better. So, yeah, it's just that energy. Well, actually, no. Wait. Actually, now that I think about it, no, I'm gonna give it to Invisible Woman 2025 because while Kate Mara has flight, which is gonna give her the advantage, that's not the only. That's not really the clear cut way to victory, but 2020, I don't think 2015's actually went into the energy field now that I think about it. I think she just kind of used her shield to, get rid of its pull and, get them out of there. So yeah, that's gonna be my video. I'm gonna go ahead and say 2015, 2025 wins pretty much across the board. The other members show up to help read once the battle's over. I'm Hero3TN. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all next time.